Hello, my friends. Today is May the 5th, and this is a reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a 4 card pull to cover the year to follow. Uh, I do healing work and I do psychic readings via the internet or through my home in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Look at my information if you're interested. 4 card reading to cover the year. General energy card for the year. Challenge you might face this year. Action you can take to stay in balance. And an outcome or synopsis card. This is the general energy card of the year, the temple. And what does the temple ask you to reflect upon? Well, the temple can be anything for anybody that takes them into the sacred. Is it the closing your eyes and kissing a lover? Is it a walk in the dappled light of the woods? Is it walking into an actual temple? Is it actually walking into a space that has a sacred sense to it that you resonate with? Is it your body? Do you consider your body to be a temple, something that has many levels of consciousness, something that needs work from uh, the physical level all the way up through the spiritual level? Does it align with your spiritual intention? Does it offer you a place of refuge? Does it offer you an altar to put your essences on? Does it offer you a sense of tasting the divine in some form? So, and what do you keep away from the temple? What do you think is not holy? What do you think is not sacred? What is your boundary between the temple, whatever the temple is, and the not temple? And is there something there that needs to be looked at and understood on deeper levels? So this is looking at your temple, whatever your temple might be, whatever might be your sense of the sacred. What do you pursue in your temple? What is your aspirations for your being in your temple? Maybe you have a temple to money. Maybe you have a temple to fame. Maybe you have a temple to power. Maybe you have a temple to those things. And are those things the things that are going to fulfill you in the long run? Well, you'll know as you go through and attain and or don't attain what you wish. But what is the sacred to you? What is not the sacred to you? And where is the place that you go to touch that sacred? So this is the particular challenge card for you, May the 5th, Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is normally, someone who's by work, by thriving, by diligence, by patience, by practice, by putting in the physical labor, by creating the physical resources, by building the physical structure, does one become rich in essence. The queen can be a queen that shares, and Queen of Pentacles is usually one who works toward a bigger society, a brighter society, a fairer society, one that she shares all the wealth with everyone around. Um, but the queen can also be small and petty and withhold things, you know, for whatever ism that might be happening to her or him. I mean, this is not a man or a woman. This is a person who has, the queen exemplifies a lot of the times what the king holds as the center of wisdom, but the queen does it. The queen acts upon it. So whoever is the queen acts upon with her wealth what she wants to do with it and how she wants to perceive whether other people are in line with it or not. So here is that sacred sense of what is outside of your temple versus is inside of your temple. I think your challenge is to share your wealth, honestly, whatever that means. Your challenge is to share fairly what is your power, what is your wealth, what is your work, what is your gifts, what are your resources, and there's a challenge there to share it. Now, why is that? I think on some level you may be feeling like it's time to change. It's time to change and do something different. And there may be, this kind of need to let go and need to move on that is, I think, being held by this position of power or fame or resources that you've gathered around you, but it's not necessarily fulfilling you right now. and there's something inside of you that is itching to change it and to do something different in your life. Now, maybe the challenge is to think about what do you do with all of your resources and your wealth and your senses of yourself now that you have decided to change, because there's a good chance that you've decided to change. How are you going to dispense them out? How are you going to share them? How are you going to move on? What are you going to keep for yourself and move on into the next level? Are you going to be, a magnanimous queen and share your wealth equally so everybody learns how to thrive and everybody learns, that to trust better and to build, deeper? Or are you going to withhold it from certain people, withhold it from anybody and everybody? Are you just going to, bank it and go on to the next thing? There's a lot of questions here. So again, that tempo question comes in. It's like, so what's sacred to you? That's the question. What is sacred to you? Is What is sacred to you? And this is the action that you can take to do that, I think, to find that. Hummingbird is all about nature, the nectar of life, the sweet nectar of life. Hummingbird lives on the sugar from flowers. It can travel thousands of miles flying in the air. It barely rests. It might rest on a branch for a second, but it's flying then it's hovering, and it's going back and forth and up and down, and it does tricks that no other critter can do in the air, and its wings are beating, views how many revolutions per minute, how many rotations per minute. They're phenomenal creatures. They're great territorial and boundary creatures, but ultimately, I love the sense that if you cage a hummingbird, it's going to die. If you don't feed them, allow them to seek their sugar, to seek their nectar, they're going to die. If you put them someplace where they can't sing, they're going to die. And they have to be uncaged. They have to be free. You have to be uncaged. You have to be free. And I think that is what your temple, I think that's what your body is saying. Your body as a temple is saying to you, you have to be free. You have to cut some of these strings of attachment. You have to go out and see again what really matters to you. And why not share your wealth with others and open yourself up to a whole new life and not be so bound again by acquisition and not be so bound again by toiling and working towards something with meaning? After you've toiled and worked towards something that is suddenly, I think, losing some meaning to you, losing some essence of it's important to you. And now you're looking for something more in your life and something better in your life. And now you take all those skills and all that work that you know how to do, and you go off and you do something new. And you taste that sweetness of life again, and you look for those things that feed your body and feed your temple and feed your soul and feed your psyche and feed your quest for adventure and enlightenment and new spark and new activation in an inspirational way. Temple, what inspires you? What is inspiring you, and what is sacred, and what are you not allowing to be sacred? I think the Queen of Pentacles, you've allowed some things to not be sacred, and now it's time to crack those things open and look to see what is really important and what is really sacred in your dance. In your dance. You're called to not be a workaholic. Queen of Pentacles is really, has often been a workaholic. Just work, 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 build, 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 do things with their hands, their bodies, their resources, their earth, magnify potential, push limits, push boundaries. You might be exhausted. You might be, you know, ready for something new because you worked so hard and you're tired, and now what you built is not really fulfilling you as much. So now it's time to go find what really fulfills you, what is really sacred to your being, what really pushes you to want to put your heart and your soul into something new and build again a bigger temple, a brighter temple, a cleaner temple, a more attached to your core and your soul temple. So go out and see what's important to you. Leave some stuff behind. Get rid of it. Share it fairly. Why not? Don't judge. Let it go. Let the universe have it. Open yourself to a new adventure. Become naked, become empty. Give everything away. Some people will do that. And if that's what you're called to do, honor that. Go out naked and face the world and go do your dance and go drink the nectar that gives you that inspiration and that truth and that touch to the sacred. Oh,